You've probably heard some weird political stories before, but have you ever heard about a goat being elected mayor? No, not a guy nicknamed the Goat. A real-life, four-legged, barnyard goat with floppy ears and a habit of chewing on pretty much everything. And not just that, this goat didn't just win the title. She actually served, gave public appearances, and wore a custom sash. Sounds like a joke, right? Well, welcome to Fairhaven, Vermont, the little town that made it happen. Let's dive into the story of how a goat ran for office and actually won. Fairhaven is a quiet town tucked away in western Vermont. Population, around 2,500. The kind of place where the local diner knows your order by heart and people wave when you drive by. It's peaceful, neighborly, and pretty traditional. Now, most towns in the U.S. have mayors, but Fairhaven, they did things a little differently. Instead of a mayor, they had a town manager, someone hired to handle the official duties. No elections, no campaigns, just management. But in 2018, the folks in town decided to have a little fun. They came up with the idea of holding a mayoral election for animals. No politics, no drama. No debates, just pets. Why? Well, part of it was to bring the community together, but also to raise money to build a new playground. People could enter their pet in the race for a $5 donation. The winner would become the town's honorary mayor. The moment the idea went public, the town got excited. Dogs were entered, cats too. Even a gerbil made the list. But one candidate stood out from the herd, literally. Her name was Lincoln, and she was a goat. Lincoln was a Nubian goat, known for her big floppy ears and sweet personality. She belonged to a local school teacher who figured, why not? Let's see if a goat can win an election. Turns out she could. After all the votes were counted, Lincoln came out on top. She beat out 15 other animal candidates to become the honorary mayor of Fairhaven. And the town? They loved it. They weren't just humoring the idea. They embraced it. Lincoln made appearances at town events. She wore a tiny custom-made sash that read Mayor. She even visited the local elementary school to meet the students. They gave her belly rubs, took photos, and talked to her like she was the real deal. It wasn't just a gimmick. It was community. And surprisingly, Lincoln's election made headlines. News outlets across the country picked up the story. People from all over were asking, did a goat really become mayor? Yes, and she did it with style. But like any good leader, Lincoln's term eventually came to an end, and the next year, the town held another election. Lincoln didn't run for re-election. Instead, the people of Fairhaven elected a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel named Murphy. Murphy wore a bodie, shook paws with supporters, and helped continue raising money for the playground and other town causes. What started as a one-time joke had become a full-blown tradition. Year after year, new pets ran for mayor. Some had Instagram pages. Others had campaign signs printed. It became a community event, and people genuinely looked forward to seeing who would win. And here's the thing. It wasn't just for laughs. These animal mayor elections actually worked. That first year with Lincoln, they raised hundreds of dollars for the new playground. Over time, the honorary mayor program helped fund park equipment, support the local library, and even fund animal shelters. All because one town had the imagination to put a goat in charge. And Fairhaven isn't the only place where animals have entered politics. In Rabbit Hash, Kentucky, they've had a string of dog mayors going back to the late 90s. In fact, the current mayor is a French bulldog named Wilbur. And in Talkeetna, Alaska, a cat named Stubbs served as mayor for 20 years. He'd hang out at the local general store, drink water out of a wine glass, and welcome tourists from all over the world. But what makes Fairhaven's story special is how intentional it is. They didn't do it just for a viral moment. They turned a silly idea into something real. A yearly event that brings people together, helps the community, and reminds everyone that sometimes being a little weird is a good thing. Think about it. In a time when politics feels tense, angry, and way too serious, A goat named Lincoln helped bring joy, laughter, and unity to her town. No scandals, no arguments, no angry debates. Just a goat wearing a sash, showing up, and making people smile. And maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of leadership we all need once in a while. So next time you think your local elections are strange, remember this little Vermont town that voted for a goat and absolutely loved her for it. Because in Fairhaven, we're works. And in a world full of noise, sometimes the quietest, furriest candidate wins hearts without saying a single word.